Battle of Kursk, fought from July 5 to August 23, 1943, is often regarded as one of the largest and most critical engagements of World War II. This confrontation between Nazi Germany and the Soviet Union took place in the Kursk salient in western Russia. The battle is renowned not only for its scale but also for its strategic implications. The German forces, under Operation Citadel, deployed approximately 780,900 men, 2,928 tanks, 9,966 guns and mortars, and substantial air support. Conversely, the Soviets fielded an even more formidable force, including 1,910,361 troops, 5,128 tanks, 25,013 guns and mortars, and up to 3,549 aircraft during the counteroffensive phase. This battle involved some of the fiercest armored clashes and aerial dogfights of the war. The battle was costly for both sides. German casualties during Operation Citadel numbered around 54,182 men, with substantial losses in tanks, assault guns, and aircraft. The Soviets suffered even heavier losses, with estimates ranging from 254,470 to 450,000 killed or missing, and significant numbers of tanks, aircraft, and artillery pieces destroyed or damaged. But what if Nazi Germany had won the Battle of Kursk? The course of World War II might have been dramatically altered. In this video, I will tell you the most important key points on how such a victory could have impacted subsequent events. A decisive victory at Kursk would have boosted German morale and restored faith in Hitler's strategic leadership. This could have re-energized the Wehrmacht, potentially leading to more aggressive and confident operations on the Eastern Front. A victory would have likely enabled the Germans to stabilize the Eastern Front. They could have resumed offensive operations, possibly encircling and destroying significant Soviet forces, thus slowing the Soviet advance. With the Eastern Front stabilized, Germany could have allocated more resources to the Western Front and other theaters. This might have delayed the D-Day invasion or other Allied operations in Western Europe and the Mediterranean. A German victory might have bolstered support for the Nazi regime both domestically and among occupied and Allied territories. The perceived invincibility of the Wehrmacht could have prolonged the war and complicated efforts to form resistance movements within occupied Europe. Stabilizing the Eastern Front would have bought time for Germany to develop and deploy advanced weaponry, such as jet aircraft and V-2 rockets, potentially leading to an extended war duration and increased destruction. The Soviets, reeling from a major defeat, would have had to adopt more defensive strategies, possibly retreating to more defensible positions. This might have led to a prolonged attrition war, causing even greater devastation in Eastern Europe. A significant German victory could have affected the dynamics of the Grand Alliance. It might have led to increased tensions between the Western Allies and the Soviet Union, as the former might push for a more aggressive strategy to prevent Soviet collapse. If successful, Operation Citadel would have allowed Germany to eliminate the Kursk salient, destroying substantial Soviet forces and shortening their defensive lines. This would have freed up German divisions for other critical sectors. A defeated Red Army would have had to regroup, possibly halting their summer offensive plans. This pause could have given the Germans the opportunity to fortify their positions and prepare for further Soviet assaults. Even with a victory, Germany would have faced heightened partisan activity in occupied territories. However, a stabilized front might have allowed for more effective anti-partisan operations. Victory at Kursk would have justified continued or increased allocation of resources to the Eastern Front. This could have impacted German industrial production and distribution, possibly diverting resources from other critical fronts. With a stabilized front, Germany might have had more time to develop and implement advanced technologies. This could have included the faster deployment of new tank models, jet fighters, and advanced submarines. A prolonged conflict, even with a victory at Kursk, would have continued to strain the German economy. The need for resources, manpower, and industrial output would have remained critical issues, potentially leading to internal dissent and logistical challenges. A German victory at Kursk might have influenced the strategies and decisions of neutral and Axis-aligned nations. Countries like Turkey or Spain might have reconsidered their positions, while Japan could have seen it as an opportunity to push further in the Pacific. Historically, the Soviet Union demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability. Even after a defeat at Kursk, Soviet industrial might and strategic depth could have eventually turned the tide back in their favor, albeit at a greater cost. A prolonged war would have resulted in higher civilian casualties, displacement, and suffering, particularly in Eastern Europe. The humanitarian toll would have been immense, with more extensive destruction of cities, towns, and infrastructure. A German victory at the Battle of Kursk would have had profound and far-reaching consequences. It could have altered the strategic balance on the Eastern Front, delayed Allied operations in Western Europe, and extended the duration of World War II. However, the fundamental economic and resource constraints facing Nazi Germany, combined with the resilience of the Soviet Union and the growing strength of the Allied powers, suggest that even such a victory would not have guaranteed ultimate German success in the war. The hypothetical victory at Kursk would have been a significant, but ultimately insufficient, factor in changing the war's overall outcome.